Hawksbee Jacobs here on TalkSport. Maybe we should have played It's Coming Home by Skinner and Baddiel coming out of that, because it is coming home next year. The Subbuteo World Cup returns to its spiritual home of Tunbridge Wells in Kent. Here to tell us why, tell us how the format works, and lots more besides, is the media director of the Subbuteo World Cup from the English Subbuteo Association. It's Stewart Grant. Good afternoon, Stewart.
How you doing, guys? Thanks for having me, chaps.
No, it's interesting. It was Charlie Wyatt who alerted us today in today's Sun. He said we got the Euros in 2028 in the UK, and we've also got the Subbuteo World Cup next year, so we were intrigued. So what is it about Tunbridge Wells? Why is it coming home?
Because that is Subbuteo. That's Subbuteo's home. That's where it come from. 1947, Peter Adolph had an idea, put it out there, and the rest is history. We all went and bought sets all over the years, and we want to bring the world of Subbuteo, everyone from every country, all 30-odd countries that play this game, back to where Subbuteo come from. And the response worldwide has been absolutely amazing. People are so excited. When we announced it last year, people were so excited to hear that, oh my God, I'm going to be playing Subbuteo in Tunbridge Wells, to the point where there's even a hotel in Tunbridge Wells that used to be a Subbuteo factory. Already, we're hearing that they're getting bookings for next year. People want to stay in a Subbuteo factory.
Does the hotel market? Do they have giant Subbuteo figures in reception? Have one behind reception? One to carry your cases upstairs?
They should, right? You should get your lunch served to you by a player being flicked in on it.
Yeah, that would be a great idea. That would be fun. So this link to Tunbridge Wells is kind of known around the world by sort of Subbuteo aficionados, is it?
Yeah, so if you're in the community, if you're from that part of the world, you know that's where Subbuteo come from. Tunbridge Wells themselves are so proud of it. They've got plaques up here and there saying this was a Subbuteo factory, this is the house where it was created. And amongst our community, if you say Langton Green, which is around Tunbridge Wells, everyone will know, Langton Green, that's Subbuteo. That's the home of it. So if you play this game, whether you've got into it in the last 6 months, been playing it all your life, everyone knows Tunbridge Wells is the place to play Subbuteo.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned 30 teams. Is there a Subbuteo Infantino who wants to expand it to 48?
Yeah. desperate to ruin the game.
So this is the first... Go on, yeah, sorry.
God, if there was an oligarch to come in and wanted to put all these extra teams and extra leagues worldwide in, we would take it all day long.
Yeah. So did you have to bid for it in the same way? Were there other countries interested?
Yeah, exactly the same. We had to bid for it, exactly the same process as you would for the normal World Cup, football Euros, the Olympics. We had to bid for it. We put our bid in and we won it. Don't quote me on it. I think the other nations might have pulled out when we went in and we was the only front runner left.
Right.
But either way, we won. There was a couple of nations. I can't remember quite who they were.
I think it was Greece and Brazil, I read, from because you said that this from Tunbridge Wells website. They're very proud of the fact they got in front. Apparently, once everybody knew it was going to be Tunbridge Wells, the home of the game, they all kind of backed off and said, no, I think that's where it should be.
That's it. They knew it was the right place to be. And they probably wanted to come here themselves. They probably looked at it and was like, this is us. We're going to Tunbridge Wells. We're going home.
Yeah.
It's still being manufactured, isn't it? Am I right in saying that?
It is, yeah. So Subbuteo themselves Hasbro are still putting out sets. Last year, they put out a Lioness's set, the first female set as well, which is fantastic because more and more women are coming into the game. But you can still buy teams all around Europe. It's got its niche market, but Subbuteo, the brand, is still there and they're still celebrating it massively. They had a massive celebration last year for the 75th anniversary of it, which was great.
And what's the demographics of the people who are going to be coming over and playing in the World Cup? Because it is an analogue game in a digital age, and you would think most young players would lean towards sort of FIFA and stuff. But so what is the age group?
No, they do. There's age categories all the way through. So you've got an adults category, you've got a veterans category, but then you've got right down to under 12s, under 16s, under 20s as well, plus a women's category at the same time. Everyone plays this game. I mean, there's some unbelievable kids that play in this country. They range from the ages of 12 up to 16, and they will beat most average player because they are just that good.
And do techniques vary, or does everybody play in the same sort of style?
No, well, there's players like me who aren't very good, who play very slowly. But then the top players, they play very quick, very fast. They're looking 4 moves ahead, and they'll break you down in seconds. The game's moved on massively since we played it on our knees on a carpet.
And what's the format then, Stuart? So how many in a team? How many will play at once in one game representing their country? How long do the games go on for, etc.?
So your average game is half an hour, 2 halves of 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
The format, you have your group stages first. It then goes down into a knockout stage. You have an individual on one day, so everyone competes for their nation, but individually as well. So you have the under-20s, the under-12s, the veterans, the open category. But then on the Sunday, which is generally the second day, you then have the team event, which is absolutely huge, where Italy just pulled off the win in the Euros, so everyone's going to be gunning for them in the World Cup. And that works exactly the same. You have group stages, it then goes into the knockouts. And it seems weird playing Team Subbuteo. It's like, does everyone gather around the table at the same time? What we do, you have 4 different people, or 8 different people playing against each other on 4 different tables. And then if you win a game 2-1, that counts as 1 point. So you might win 2 games 2-0 and lose the other ones 3-1. That would count as 2-2 overall.
Okay. An aggregate score, yeah. Okay. It's next.
Is the math right?
Yeah. Next September, it's going to be over 4
next
days.
September. That's it, the 20th to the 22nd.
And can people come along and watch it? When are tickets going on sale?
Tickets go on sale soon. We're working on that at the moment. They should be on sale very soon, but anyone can come along. And we're not just hosting this one tournament as well, because it's in Tunbridge Wells. We're having a big weekend of Subbuteo. Tunbridge Wells Borough Council are heavily invested in it as well. They're really looking forward to it. We're going to have fringe events where people play old traditional rules. There's a big collectors fair. The Tunbridge Wells are going to run walking tours, so anyone can come down. Everyone's welcome to watch. It's a fantastic family day out. And you know what? I mean, what I've seen over the last year or so, we do these events. I've done stuff at the National Football Museum, and we did an open event in Tunbridge Wells last year as well. People come in with their kids. The connection people make with Subbuteo. I used to play that, and then their kids start looking at it. They want to play it as well. The connection it makes with families is absolutely fantastic.
It's amazing that it does, because when you look at the quality of the graphics that you get in many of the games now, you think the kids would not want to go back to something where they are on the floor. I suppose it's something you can do with a parent, which is a kind of bonding thing, but it is essentially, flicking players, etc., up and down a baize, isn't it?
There's so much more you can do with Subbuteo. It's not just a case of get the figures, flick and play them. You can paint your own teams.
Yeah.
You can go and play against different people in real life. Although we play online when we play FIFA and Pro Evo and all that, we don't actually see the people we're playing with, so we don't get that chemistry and that real reaction. When you play this, people can meet up with new people, join clubs. Honestly, it's so open to the world. It's brilliant.
Can you remember your first set, Andy? Well, it would have been in the 60s, wouldn't it?
The players were 2D.
So they were like a cardboard, they were
like plastic, and they were just
flat players, before they became 3 dimensional. So is there a market for these old sets then, Stewart? These vintage
massively, the collector's market is absolutely huge. Some of it goes for big money. I mean, them players you're talking about, the celluloid players. I actually played a gentleman last night at our club in Southend, and I used a figure from, I think I was using 80s Luton. He used an old flat celluloid team and absolutely walked over the park with me. And he was playing with a team from the 50s.
It's like Hickory Shaft clubs going into the Open, isn't it?
That's exactly it, but
fantastic. It works. Using the flat players, and he was, okay, well, I think we'll get the listeners going on that. So if you are a parent who've managed to get your kids into the game, maybe you got some pushback, maybe they took to it straight away. We'd love to hear how that all came about and whether they have embraced it. And everybody's got their Subbuteo stories. I've mentioned before, years ago, I had a very good Holland team when I was a kid, and I'd knelt, occupational hazard, knelt on one of the players, and all that was left was the base, very short legs. It looked like he'd spontaneously combusted in front of the fire. Just legs, a little short pair of legs. And the base.
Yeah, we've all done it.
So I called him Van der Bass, and he became my best player. It was total football with him. So we'll take some of your Subbuteo war stories, listeners, this afternoon. So good to talk to you, Stewart, and we'll keep in touch.
It's going to be fun, I think.
Keep us updated as we get closer to the event.
We will do. If anyone wants to know about it, if they just search FISTF World Cup, that's FISTF World Cup on the internet, all our socials will come up. And the English Subbuteo Association website's got it all in there as well. So loads of information for people. And so,
it's not time to qualify. I take it the England team are sorted, are they, at the moment?
No. There's still time to qualify. So part of the qualification process is our English Championships, which starts in a month or so. So if people do want to play and they fancy their hand at it, go on our website, EnglishSubbuteoAssociation.com. All the information's on there. We go all around the country playing it, so there's loads of opportunities for people to play as well.
Brilliant. Cheers, Stuart. All the best.
No worries. Thanks for having me, guys.
There we are, Stuart Grant there, the media director of the Subbuteo World Cup at the English Subbuteo Association, FISTF, the Federation Internationale Sports Table Football. All the information's there about the World Cup. Now, maybe you could be playing in it next year if you're that
Fantastic,
good. So, yeah, let's have your Subbuteo war stories of any shape or form. We don't really mind. As long as they're humourable, interesting, whatever you fancy. If it's jogged your memory after all these years. Maybe you're still playing, I don't know. It's talksport.com/H&J.